Hi, I'm Jill. This is Remain Calm and Keep Stitching. Next week, I'm going to give you a bit of a look through another new book that I got, and it's this one, which I'll show you more of later. So now I have an update on the WIPS that I've been working on this past week. I did pretty good on this one, I'd say. This is The Magic of Christmas, and it's by Tiny Modernist. And the only thing I did different so far, the white is supposed to be blanc, but I don't like blanc, so I did it in B5200. So I have the deer, I have the moon, and I have one star, and I'm getting started on Santa. And of course, he's right here, and he's going to be sitting in his sleigh. And I am really sorry to be putting that away for a week or two because I have a feeling it's not going to stay away. I'll be stitching on that some more. I really like that. I love that pattern. And then I have another one that I am really enjoying, and I didn't get nearly as far as I wanted to, but it had a lot of color changes for the part that I was doing, and that's Beach View. Now, you know I want to get to that blue cat. I love that cat. So what I did was I have those silly little curtains, multiple shades of green and pink flowers. And I did the blue all the way across. So that's how wide that's going to be. That's it. So that's not too much. It doesn't finish up as a huge piece. With all of the items that are in there, it really looks like it's going to be big, but it's not. It's not that big at all. It's 8 by 8 when you finish on 14 count, I believe. I'm doing it on 14 count. So it should be about that size. And I'm really looking forward to that. I can't wait to. The only kind of cat I get these days because a certain somebody won't let me have a cat. She really doesn't like cats at all. Another piece that I worked on was the Christmas sampler. And when I had talked about it before, I mentioned I didn't know if I wanted to do the entire banner or not. I decided I do want to do all of the different designs, but I don't want a long banner. So I had started down here and I pulled some of that out. I'm going to put the white border that you probably can't see. I'm going to put the white border down at the bottom and finish it off that way, probably as a small framed or standalone, maybe not framed, just on the artist board. But I did get the tree in the truck finished, and I got the two trees along the side of the barn. And, of course, I did the frogging of that other part. It didn't take long. The entire inside is not filled with stitches, so it really shouldn't take me too much longer to finish this. So I might have that finished next week. We'll see. I mean, of course, it's not one that I'm supposed to be working on this week, so can't promise, but maybe I'll be able to get to it enough that I can do that. Another one that I'd like to tell you I will have finished next week, and probably could guess if you've watched, that would be Full Moon Farm. I really love this piece too. And I got this part done, the bush with the fence. This tree is done. The chimney's all done. And I finished all along here, which I think is kind of hard to see. And yellow, I guess it's supposed to be like yellow leaves, dead grass, that kind of thing. So I have all of that done all along the bottom. And then I have to put in border that you can see here. And then there's a couple little orange stars up there, and they belong over here as well. And one big star. So I thought it shouldn't be that hard to get that done. But we all know how many stitches borders are. Even a simple border like this, you think they're going to be easy, and then you start, and suddenly it's the middle of the night, and you're wondering what happened to the time. Now this one It may not seem like much, but I have all my corners connected. Everything's connected now. This is what I finished this week. I had come over here and I had come all this, and so I did some of this. And one other thing that I did on here, I started the blue over here, which will match this one. And that's Sky Harbor Airport, and that's going to be Scottsdale Road over here. They are going to be the expensive properties. And if you've ever been to Phoenix, or if you know anything about Phoenix, you know Scottsdale Road, that's where all the tourists go. Everyone who lives here knows that you do not go to Scottsdale Road because the traffic is bad. And there's all those pedestrians running back and forth to get to all the shops. Good shops there too. Nice shops. So those are the WIPs that I worked on this past week. And I think to break that up, I will share it. You see like my project bag? I made that. Look what I made. I know. It's a dishcloth. Not my idea of a fun hobby to sit and make dishcloths. I mean, after all, they're for making washing dishes, you know? I mean, you could use them for anything. They're cotton. You could use them for a face cloth too if you wanted to. But I always wanted to make one because it seems so strange to me to make a dishcloth out of crochet. So I did. This one I made a little smaller than the other one because the other one, even though I I looked at a pattern and it was so easy, I thought I don't need to follow a pattern for this. So I just kind of did whatever I wanted to do on there. But I just used their guideline for how many stitches to start with. And to me, it's just a little big. See, when I wash my coffee cup, it's just so full, you know, it's hard to clean. And then this, there we go. That's my crochet blanket. It's quite big. And it's about a third of the way done. And it's nice and wide. That'll easily fit on the bed. And I was going to do the plaid blanket, but I wanted something bright, and the plaid blanket, it was nice. I liked it, but I couldn't find the right colors for it. And I didn't want to do black or dark brown, something like that. So I finally decided I'm going to use the colors I want, which was tropical. And I was just going to do the good old ripple stitch pattern. And I learned this pattern like 40 years ago. A friend of mine taught it to me, and I really enjoy it. And that was basically when I learned to crochet, when she taught me to do that. So next that I will be working on, and I'll still be working on that. I work on that in the evenings while I watch, most time in the evening, I watch my kitchen rules. And I'm also watching a series on the Knights Templar. And let's see, I don't know. Other times I'm just picking. Afternoons are when I like to watch Oak Island and Skinwalker Ranch. And I got to get back to Blind Frog Ranch one of these days. I like those shows. Because there's something out there, something besides just the truth. So then we have more beach. And I do want to do both of these patterns, but right now I'm working on the one on the bottom. And this is it. And I'm going to finish that lettering. I am determined I will finish that lettering. So that's the goal for this piece. But I also would like to get some of the houses done because there's kind of a star of them. That's that red up there is a flag for the houses. Each one has a flag. So I'll do that. Of course, I did the seagulls. You know, I like seagulls. So that's a goal for that one. And then the one that I love to hate, porch scene. I think it's the most beautiful. I really do. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. The problem is it's white on white. I wouldn't have done white as a background if I had realized it was a full coverage, but I didn't. I thought the white was going to show through, and by the time I was doing the pattern for the fourth time, I wasn't about to change things. Not again. So this is how far I am. So I have it done top to bottom. That's the length of it. And it's about halfway across. Yeah, it is. It's halfway across on the top. I remember being at the edge of the page. And what I want to do, you can't really see it, but it is stitched, the white. There's a white post here. Once the backing is on, you'll see the white post. For now, it's impossible. I want to fill in there. So maybe by next week you can see that post. And then I would love to get more done in here. But there's still more white on white to do there because I have to do the post that's here. So we'll see how far I can get. I do have a lot of this done. So I might be able to connect that and get that all together. Now I do have a book coming, which maybe I'll be able to show you next week. Because for whatever reason, I was over at 123 Stitch, and somehow it came up with this picture, and it's Ursula Michaels, but it wasn't porch scene. It was something else. And I thought, that's not right. I know that's not right. So I clicked on it. Turns out it's a book that she has other designs in. So I'm looking forward to getting that book. And I assume this is one of the patterns in it because it's on the cover, but there'll be other patterns in there too. So I'm looking forward to seeing that and showing that to you. I was on 123 Stitch because I wanted to find wool yarn or floss, and I couldn't find it. So let's fix this. I hear you. Now you all remember Cross Stitch Christmas. I did flip through this book a while back, and this is the pattern that I'm doing. That's Merry Little Christmas. Get a good look at that. Now, when I showed it to you before, I haven't done anything on it. This is, you can see I'm doing the banner. I just got to the banner. Inside the banner, it's have yourself a, and then it goes on to other designs. So that's what I want to get done this week, the banner with the letters. And I would be really happy if I was able to get some of the red border done. That goes down the opposite side. I'm not going to say how much because I don't know how far I'll go, but I would like to get there. So we'll see how that works out. And next week, I do have my own little challenge going where I'm going to pick a different pattern each 25th of the month to start another design in this book. So next week, I will announce the next pattern that I'm going to start. I have an idea which one I want. And I don't think you'll be surprised. And then the other item that I am going to be working on is the Needles Notions Woodland Yule. I really do like these. I think they're gorgeous. And that's how far I am. So next week, what am I going to show you? I am going to show you, let's see, we're on this one. I've got Mary done. Okay, so I'm going to show you this row right here. That's what I'm going to get done. It's a cardinal, and some other bird and another bird. And they're sitting on, I guess, a pine bough. Maybe I'll even get the word Christmas stuff. We'll see. We'll see how far I can get. Because I do like stitching on it. I'm doing this one in 3 strands. So it's really, it's like a raised pattern. I like that. I like 3 strands. I know you can't always, especially on the 18 count. That's rough. Not easy to do. So that's it for past and future, what I'm going to do, except for this. This is all our yesterdays. And it's a new relative, well, this is a new book. It was copyrighted in 2007. And I did go over to the Dave and Charles website, who's publishers, but it said the domain had expired. So I don't know if David and Charles have gone out of business or what. Their books are still out there, I guess. But the one pattern that I wanted to work on is that little boy who's fishing. It's easier to see him this way. The light's over there. And I just think he's so cute. He reminds me of my older son because he likes, or my younger son, he likes to fish. He, he likes to fish and he will not swim in the lake because there's fish in it. I don't understand that exactly. But he's not big on swimming anyway. But I already have the fabric picked out and I know what I want to do. So that's pretty small, actually. It finishes 48, well, the stitch count is 48 by 45. So I might have that as a finish. I might have 3 finishes for you next week. We'll have to see how that goes. When I was looking for, what was I looking for? I went over to 123 Stitch to get that wool yarn because I had gone to DMC or something. Oh, because I want to know about that book, because if you'll notice, DMC has their mark on it. And I wanted some information about that. And instead, I ended up looking at the free patterns. And I got a pattern, I downloaded it, and it's round, and it's a house with a sky that has swirls in it of other colors like purple, I think. And I'll explain why I think that. And so overall, though, when you look at it, it looks very gray. So you can't really see what the colors are. So when I was sitting down and I was looking, I wanted to see if I had the colors. The symbols don't match up to the picture entirely. And the thing is, if you go to the DMC website and look for winter landscape, it comes up and you can buy it as a kit or a free pattern. So when you buy it as the kit, of course, they give you the floss. But it also has a note that they no longer stock some of those colors, so they pulled them from the kit. So the things that don't match up, are they colors I don't have and don't even know what they are? It's DMC. Why didn't they give me a substitute, an alternative? Why didn't they at least tell me what the color could be? So I'm going to make it and probably wing it as much as I dare. Probably most of it. It should be interesting. We'll see how it comes out. I'll probably be following that other one that I had made for Christmas, which is in another one of my videos, and we'll see how that turns out. But while I was there, I found this other pattern, and I just think he's adorable. You know, you see sleds, you see snowmen, you see penguins, they're all the winter creatures. Did you ever see a badger? He's the sledding badger, and I think that's so cute. The floss is wool floss, and if you could look really closely, this kind of looks fuzzy. So I'm thinking maybe wool floss is quite a bit different than our regular DMC that we use. So I decided, what the heck, I'll go to 123 Stitch and I'll get that floss. They didn't have all the colors. So I went back to DMC because after all, it's their pattern. They must have it. Nope, couldn't find it. They have a category for it. It's Echo Floss, Echo something, ECO and something. But I couldn't find what I needed for this. So I'm going to look up badgers and see what their colors are. I don't know if this is actually the right colors for a badger. I'm sure the dark color, but I don't know about the mottled color on the back of him. I'll just check it out. Maybe I'll use Rainbow Gallery if I can find fuzzy stuff that will work for that. And then use regular DMC for other parts like the sled and the rope and his hat and scarf. And his nose, because his nose shouldn't be fuzzy. So that's what I'm thinking, that I'll try that. So that is basically it. I do thank you for being here. I appreciate you spending time with me. And if you have anything to say, any comments, uh, helpful comments for, maybe what you'd like to see, uh, I'll gladly, take them all into account. Tell me what you want to see. Not Mirabilia, though. I don't think I'm up to that. I'll stick with smaller pieces, and plus I've got a couple big ones coming up, but I've already started on their WIPS, and they're in the rotation, so they'll be getting worked on at times. I also want to start the Raven, the Obsessive Compulsive Raven. It comes from Lindy Stitches. It's a free pattern, and I think it's adorable too. It's just a raven, but you've heard of Edgar Allan Poe's Raven, who says nevermore. Well, the Obsessive Compulsive Raven says never mind, and I think that's hilarious. So next week I will be doing the progress from this coming week, and I will be showing you plans for the following week. And also in the following week, I should be announcing whatever pattern I'm going to pick from A Cross Stitch Christmas, because remember my little challenge for the 25th. So come back next week and see what I'm going to start stitching. If you like the video, please hit like, please subscribe, and come back and see me again. I'll probably not make that much progress on my blanket because I don't stitch a long time every day. And sometimes I don't get to it, depends. Sometimes I'm really tired in the evening and I don't stitch. And sometimes a certain doggy insists on being held, and yeah, we all obey. So stay healthy, stay safe, and I will see you next week. Have a good week and happy stitching.